Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another American Truck Simulator. Now, before I completely accept this job, which is just to the left of me, I'm gonna go here to the truck servicing. One, to repair my truck, which for some reason it's got 10% damage. And two, to remove those giant ass freaking bars over there. So $1 grand to repair 10%. It's not too bad. I mean, it's quite expensive, but oh well. That would be here most probably, wouldn't it? Yes, there it is. Standard exhaust, plain stacks. I know it makes it look less manly, and I gotta pay $300 to give me $4 grand in refund, but yeah, whatever. As long as it gives me a better view of back of the truck. Kind of. It helps a bit. It really does. Again, it wouldn't be something. Oh, that was way too close. I can see a little bit better, and I can see the actual back of the truck now. So you know what? That was totally worth it. Let me just take that away for a second. So let's go this way. And as soon as I go from one side, I go to the other. And this was a, if I remember correctly, yes, it's still there, a bulldozer delivery. And luckily it's, yeah, it's still there, even though I've just had my truck serviced. And alright, let's have a little go at this then. Okay, let's back it up. Yeah, I can see perfectly from both sides now. I couldn't before because half my vision was blocked. Okay, so I can actually see now, which is quite good. That's great. And I'm not gonna look either side because I don't care. I would never do this in real life, by the way. Just for you guys to think that I would be this careless. I'm not, kind of. Well, sometimes I am, but only sometimes. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm doing 26. I don't even know why I was worried. Because it's the speed limit of 30. Alright, so topic of conversation for this video. How good is this at a simulator? Well, I don't know because I'm not a truck driver, so I can't really say too much on that aspect. But let me tell you this, as a driving simulator, it's actually quite good. I think if you're a first-time driver and you don't know how to drive, you don't know the basics, you don't know pretty much anything, I would recommend definitely picking up this setup that I have. Get yourself a steering wheel that's got a shifter, alright, and not just one of them sequential shifters, but actually an H shifter. You don't have to have the exact setup as I do, but I find that this is actually one of the cheapest to have, while still maintaining a quality. Although a Logitech G25 would be by far the cheapest, costing you around about 150 bucks rather than 200 and something else, like 200 bucks. But paying just a tiny little bit for this setup, it's a lot better, trust me on that. But anyways, pricing and whatnot is not in question here. This is by far the cheapest and best solution that I know of. Okay, I know you can buy everything separate. You can buy a G29 wheel, and then you gotta buy the pedals with the clutch, and then you gotta buy a, you know, whatever it's called, one of them stupid ass metal H shifters that you can get. Anyway, so you either buy everything separate, costing you, you know, 400, 500, 600 bucks, or you can just buy this short and simple pack. Especially if you're not a really hardcore game or anything like that, if you really just for learning purposes, I would definitely recommend just getting a G27. But anyways, there are I think I've played most of the driving games that are really good for you to learn. Um, One I would say is Live for Speed. Now that's kind of a racing game in sold as well, but realistically, it's got really great driving physics. So again, you know, if you don't maintain, if you don't put your foot on pedal properly enough, if you accelerate too much, it will, you know, actually accelerate. If you drop the clutch, it will, you know, drop the car. If you don't do things right, you will get punished for it. And whilst on many other games you don't. Shift 2, for example, you never have to use the clutch if you don't want to. So if you just want to do straight shifts, direct shifts I think they're called, where you just go from 4th to 5th, you can. You don't even have to touch the clutch. The clutch is there, just, I don't know. Which again, you can't do that in a car. You can shift without clutching in, but you would get very big repercussions for that. So, of course, you know, again, games. And of course I pressed the wrong button. And I pressed the wrong button again. Okay, there you go. So yeah, if you just want to learn how to shift and whatnot, definitely recommend the setup, because this will, again, you're driving trucks, but you have car mods in this game if you want to. And this is mostly highways and motorways and stuff like that. It's not really in towns. You want city car driving for that, but city car driving is, to be fair, not the most realistic game ever. I think it's actually quite unrealistic, in the sense that the roads and the game is just very not very well made. The roundabouts are a bit silly, but then again, I think the game is made by Russian people, so they based it on Russia, and apparently that's what the rules are in Russia, so the game just reflects that on itself. But this is why I like Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator. It's because it really does give you realistic settings, right? It really does emulate roads, as in exactly as they are on the map, exactly as they are in real life. You know, it gives you that realistic setting that's just uncomparable to any other game trying to do it justice. Of course, there are really good games like Forza, for example, and Gran Turismo, but unfortunately for me, I never played any Forza game because it's an Xbox exclusive, and then I never owned an Xbox console. So, oh well. Maybe when they start having that for the PC, I'll be able to have a go at it, which I'm quite excited about, because I really think Forza is a great game. It's the racing game I've been looking for, but because it's exclusive to Xbox, that's where I won't touch it. But anyways, I digress. I think the important things to learn here are: 1, learn how to shift. I know a lot of people who have issues shifting, right? And again, some people can adjust to gear shifting like that. Others struggle quite a bit. So if you are struggling, or you don't know how to and you just want to try it out on how to shift, definitely it's a good way to start, because you'll feel pretty, you know, kind of like a car will. So you have that tension, that, you know, placement, that everything. So definitely good to learn how to shift, and just to, you know, drive and stay on the roads, stay within the lanes, learn how to actually drive properly, you know, what the signs are, what, and you can, obviously you can learn in school and you can read it on a book, but actually doing it and learning from trial and error, that's great. You know, you're actually getting real experience, rather than just reading about it or paying, I don't know, $40, $50, $60 per driving lesson, which is like an hour, which is obviously great because you're actually driving a real car on real life situation rather than a game. But you know, I don't know. It's just I'd rather pay $100 and drive however much I want in however settings I want than paying $60 for an hour of point A to point B driving. And if your driving instructor isn't very competent, then you're gonna be in some trouble. And at least here, you don't have a driving instructor. You're pretty much on your own, as you can see. There's nobody on my side. So you can do whatever you want. Now, one thing I'm really dying to want to try, and this is what would be the cherry on top of the cake for me, would be trying this with the Oculus, with some sort of virtual reality headset. And the reason for that is, if I grab the mouse right now, I can move this any direction I want, right? Oh shoot, and go all over the place. I can pretty much move this in whatever direction I want. The problem I have with that right now is, if I want to do that now, again, I have to take my hand off the, I have to take my hand off one of the wheels. So if I want to shift in and look at the same time, I'm gonna get lost, of course. And not only that, but I also have to kind of adjust myself to where I was looking at before, center, basically. So if I look right, he's gonna keep pointing right until I move him around. So I'm gonna have to, yeah, keep centering to where I think it was, and that still might not be it. So that's also quite tough to do. But if I could do this, you know, just by looking around, moving my head, and actually doing it properly, as in real life, that would be so good. Unfortunately, I don't have my hands on any VR headset yet. One, the technology is still not quite there yet, even though we've done amazing progressions. You know, there's so much more competition out there. There's so many more virtual reality headsets happening now, and with different technologies and, you know, different ways of doing it. So maybe in the next 4 or 5 years it will be perfected, and it will be also quite cheap and accessible to everyone. And when that time comes, I'll be here to do it. I'll definitely go for it. Oh, I'm going to be too fast. There's a police car right there, so might as well just slow down a bit. So yeah, although I'd love to do it, I just don't think it's quite there yet. That's why I haven't gotten myself a Oculus Rift or Oculus VR, whatever you want to call it. I've had chances to get it before. I could get it now if I wanted to, but first and foremost, I don't think I have a powerful enough rig to be able to handle it, because I know them rendering two 720p screens at the same time can be quite yeah, quite heavy material. So I don't think right now that would be too much of an option for me. But just gotta look behind. Yeah, behind is clear. So yeah, it wouldn't be too much of an option for me right now. I just don't have the right equipment for it, and again, it's an expense. It's a very expensive piece of equipment, and only very few games support it right now. So unfortunately, until support is higher and until it becomes more of a thing, I'm gonna skip it for now. However, I do believe, and I said this quite a fair few years ago, that virtual reality and virtual reality goggles are definitely the next way to go, the next peripheral, right? It's not Wii remotes, it's not using your body as a controller. That is not it at all. That is a complete miss. No matter how much you force it on past generation and current generation consoles, it's just not gonna happen. People are just not interested. There's not enough development and creative ideas for it. But giving you a immersion as deep as making you feel like you're actually in the game, you know, just seeing the game itself, moving your head around, making you feel like you're in that environment, to the point that I've seen videos on YouTube, really funny videos of people wearing this Oculus VR and then being on roller coasters and them actually losing balance all over the place. That's so much immersion there, and they really, their brain, their head, they really believe like they're on a roller coaster. They're there. They're doing that. They're going down hill really fast. To me, there's no way you can compare that to anything else. That just beats everything. So obviously, you should drop these light bars and these stupid. I'm not gonna say drop it completely, obviously, but I'm saying as in the current state, just leave it for the time being. Focus more on virtual reality goggles. That's definitely the way to go. Now, combine virtual reality goggles with the PlayStation Move. Ooh, running out of fuel. Okay, that's my oil gauge. Let me. Okay, that's my water temperature and oil temperature. Fuel, 43 gallons, which will do me 206 miles. Okay, that is awful. I really need to go find a petrol station, fuel station, right as soon as I can. And I think there is one right there. And I've never refueled this truck ever since I've had it. That's probably a problem. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of a detour. I just want to go over this hill, because if I don't, the truck will start falling back as it is now, and I'll be stuck here. See? So if I let go of the... Okay, parking brake on. There you go. So you get over the hill and over the bump. Alright, I'm not gonna go over too fast. Okay, let's go in here, refuel. I've refueled quite a fair few times on camera. Okay. Let's take this off. Put it to neutral. I had 40 gallons. 40, yeah, it started at 42, went down to 40 gallons. Let's put my parking brake on. I have about 260 that I just put on, so that equals 300 gallons total. Where is it? 299. So that gives me 150 miles. That's definitely something I have to keep in mind. Whoa, that was close though. Alright, back on track now, and the end is there anyways. I could have finished this job without refueling, but then I'd have to refuel regardless. And if I'm for some reason ending the video and forget to refuel, well, it would tell me anyways, but still, worst thing I can do, or worst thing that can happen, is the truck just dies off completely where I am. Ooh, this is another place I can go for jobs. I'll definitely pass by there, and the more places I unlock for jobs, the better. Although I do need to unlock more more garages all over the country, so I can just fast travel to it and accept the job a lot quicker. Because then the job won't just go away in like 5 minutes, or on my way driving there, because it's pretty much what's been happening recently. Anyways, guys, hope it's been informative, this talk, I suppose, and leave me your opinions in the comments. I'll always read them, and I'll try to reply, but if I don't reply, I don't know. You're not talking to yourselves anyways. I am. Alright. Here it is. I see nightmare parking. Okay. Oh, 40 XP, so this is gonna be kind of easy then. This is super easy. This is kind of easy. Ah, you know what, I'm gonna go for super easy. So I can still park in this video. If it was 90 XP, then I'll definitely go for it. If it's only 40, You know what? Screw it, because it's not worth it. No, should I keep going? Did I complete? Oh, I was gonna say, did I completely miss? No, I didn't. Right there. Excellent. That's good. And no penalty. Fantastic. So 400 XP, and I'm on level 4. I'm nearly at the place that I was before. I just need to do. Okay, this is 3,400. So I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs if I get that much experience, and then obviously I will have a lot more stuff. Fragile cargo. Glass electronics to like machinery with the following benefits. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for this before I go for that. Just to have a different perspective on stuff. But this is it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all on the next one.